Good morning. Yeah, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the show. This
Yeah.
is episode 431 of the Two Dum Yinzers. How you
Ooh,
doing today, Mike?
I'm doing great. I actually am. I'm having a great day so far.
Really?
Yeah, so that's something bad's gonna happen soon. But right now, I'm
Absolutely.
doing all right.
That's awesome, man. Um,
Did you just say ma'am? You always do that.
Maybe. You know who really makes me laugh, Mike? You ever been somewhere? It could be anywhere. Somebody's there with their wife and kids, and it's generally a guy,
Hmm.
probably 30s all the way up to 70.
Uh-huh.
But they're messing with their phone, and then they're always the first one to yell out. They're like, "Oh, I always get these messages with these naked girls on." Like, you
Yeah.
dummy, you just told on yourself. You only get them if you look at that shit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Uh-huh.
like
But
whatever
you're
you,
yeah,
yeah,
you're
like whatever you
subscribed to
do,
that shit.
it always comes to your phone. And I don't know how many times I've been somewhere and there would be a guy, and he
Mm-hmm.
would, be in a normal life situation, like I said, maybe with a family around or something. But
Mm-hmm.
that's the people that always say that. They're always like, "Oh, I always get these emails with the naked girls," and
Uh-huh.
like, you dummy.
Or like the person that will complain, like, why am I getting all these gay ads on this
Yeah,
website? Like, oh, bro, that's like targeted ads from your cookies, man. You might want to clear that
nobody,
stuff out.
yeah, nobody gets gay ads.
Yeah, unless you're looking at that stuff there, bro. It's the same thing. I got a guy at work. He's like, oh man, I get all these nudie emails.
You
We know
see
what you're
this.
doing on your spare time, buddy.
There was a guy one time that I suspected was a little weird in the sense that he acted awfully weird around kids, especially little girls.
Ooh,
Yeah, and like I said, and there was things that led up to this as well. And he would do that. And he'd be like, he, along the line something like, I hate always getting these emails or these messages about under 18 girls or underage girls. I thought, well, dude,
well, dude, yeah,
that's like the
uh,
worst thing you could even say. Like, you just keep it to
yeah,
yourself if that's the case. I mean, geez, oh man.
yeah. Thanks for outing yourself. The FBI will be here shortly.
Yeah. And you're like, I just stay away from me. I don't care what the fuck you do. I don't want to be anywhere around you.
Yeah, I don't want to get the blowback from that. I
Yeah,
don't want to be
yeah.
associated with you. Just stay away.
But you do see this, and it's comical in its own way.
Yeah, like you said, man, people just out themselves. Like, are they looking for the reaction? Are they looking for like,
Or
oh
are
yeah,
they just really that
this
dumb?
person's with me.
Because my dad, he could fall into that category. I could see him just busting out and saying, "Oh, why am I getting all these naked girl pictures?" That's totally my dad would fall in that category, man.
I I get the ones that are like they'll look around and then they'll say something of like, yeah, dude, I don't have like bed sheets at home with holes cut out
Yeah.
like you. Yeah, like no, like people like that, and then the porn, and then the illegal stuff. Like no, 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 you don't have to announce that to anyone to see if anyone's with you. You just keep that quiet.
And I know this because I look at, I'm a man. I look at naked
You
chicks
look at
every once in a while.
yeah,
I mean, you got to do what you got to do. So I do. I see where they're coming from as far as receiving this stuff, but the stand in a room where people that don't barely even know you, and even if they
and
know you, maybe they're just family and they probably shouldn't even know this stuff.
yeah,
These people, they always blurt this kind of stuff. It makes me laugh, man. It's
yeah.
comical.
It's comical and it's uncomfortable, but the uncomfortableness makes it funny watching everyone else squirm.
Yeah,
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 because I'm sitting there thinking, okay, what can I say that's funny? I
right.
got a bunch of stuff, but also at the same time watching everyone.
See, this is why Derpy should be here today. I don't know. Something tells me
Whoa!
he
Are
falls into
you
this category somewhere.
are
I
you
don't know
implying
where,
that Derpy would be this guy?
but
Like, well,
yeah, I
I
want to
get all
know.
these naked chicks on my phone.
I want to know. Yeah, I want to know what his incoming messages and emails look like.
Probably so benign.
Yeah.
That you know what? Knowing Derby, I guarantee, I'm willing to bet money on this. It's about the new Marvel or DC movie.
What, his emails?
That's what his emails would be.
It's funny that you said bet because I observed that Derpy's in here and
I know. I
remember
wasn't going to
last
say
week,
anything. I wasn't going to point it out that the elephant in the room and why he's probably
which
not
is
here.
fine. He doesn't have to bet. And again, we're not even betting. It's not even we're betting. We're not
No,
betting. There's no monies.
it's a friendly competition to see
It's a
who knows
friendly
what about
competition.
sports.
Then yeah, to see who knows what about, and that's what we do here. We bust each other's balls when
Yeah,
that's what
that's
I
the whole
think's going on.
that's the
So
whole point. I think he doesn't. you noticed yesterday he come in hot and heavy with the
Yeah,
ball jokes right away. He starts into it,
and he knows Thursday
and
is
he
picks
knows.
day.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll continue, but come on, what's going on? What's going on, Derpy?
I think he does it on purpose to where he's out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He wants a 4-day weekend.
I know that we think he's dead on Friday going into the
Yeah.
weekend. You don't hear from him.
You don't hear him all through Sunday during the Steeler game, and you finally hear. And then Monday morning, he comes back in all happy and chipper if the Steelers win, or salty if they lose. I'm like, come on,
Like he doesn't even have to pick. And again, I think that's a ridiculous thing that would be it. But I think that's what it is.
I think he's ducking me, man. He's afraid of me.
And I don't even know if that's what it is. Again, over the weekend we talked last week, and I told you we talked a
Yeah,
little bit about things. I just don't know I don't know what to think. I just know the only thing that I know for sure is that he's not here on picks day for
yeah,
like 3 straight weeks now.
uh-huh.
And again, it's not a problem, but like why are you doing it? I
He's
don't get it. I don't
he's
get what
doing
he's
it on
doing.
purpose, man. He's doing it on purpose. He doesn't want the smoke from me. He knows I'm gonna win.
And I mean, you think he'd want to get back in it as soon as he can to try
Yeah.
to start catching up, but I don't know. I guess we'll see.
But, he's taking a couple extended bye weeks. Is
Yeah.
what it is.
Pittsburgh Penguins back at it last night. Mike, game 4 out of 82. They
Ooh.
travel to Detroit. They lose Mike. They lose this game 6-3.
Mm-hmm.
Carlson gets a goal, 2 assists. Malkin a goal. Rust a goal. Crosby an assist. Jory gives up 4 of the goals. It's 23 for 27 and saves. I don't know. I think it is way too early to even start dissecting this.
Yeah.
As we were talking about the Penguins the other day, I thought, I mean, this season it goes. We got time.
Yeah.
People were panicking already. They're ready to throw Jory out the window last night. I'm seeing. Again, it's game 4. I really don't think diving too much into this at this point is
It was the game got away from them in the second period. You could see it happen. They were up, and then all of a sudden it just slipped away. It happens. You can still see the bottom 6 still needs work. That bottom defense pair of Reweedle and POJ needs a lot of work too. But Eric Carlson from what's the highlights? What's the game? He played really well. Josh Yohe had a good article of like how that's like the important thing. Yeah, you want to see them win, but the new acquisition, the big star acquisition, is playing well within the system, and more than what was he's meeting what was advertised. I do want them to stack wins early and often, especially like it's a team like Detroit, but I think I think this team is still a contender to make the Stanley Cup playoffs, not the finals. I think they can get in the playoffs and have a little run.
I think that's what everybody wants to see.
They just a little tweaking on that bottom 6 again.
People want to see this team back in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And of course, everybody wants their team to win the Stanley Cup, and that's in any case, in any sport. But I think that's what it is. I think that it kind of left a sour taste in people's mouth when they didn't make the playoffs last year after a million years or whatever. I think if this team gets to the playoffs and that maybe they're good. They're not a bad team. You've got a bunch of good at star power. Maybe you could win around or win some games in the playoffs, and I think people will be happy again. And then go ahead.
No, I was going to say right now the Penguins, the way they're constructed, it's kind of like they're like a legacy band. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to go see Motley Crue. I'm going to go see Rolling Stones. I'm going to go watch The Who. I'm going to go watch Kiss again. It's like, okay, we're going to go. It's the same lineup. We know there's not going to change. They're going to do their greatest hits. Malkin's going to do something. Crosby's going to do something, that's going to blow your mind. And fans are okay with that right now. It's not about the result of winning the Stanley Cup. It's about them playing well, because that's what everyone wanted. Everyone wanted the big 3 back together. Well, we got it. And now we have to try and construct a team around them that can quasi contend to make it to the playoffs and maybe do something in the playoffs. So this is what they are right now. They're like they're a legacy band act until the big 3 are gone, which I'm okay with, because they still have the potential the way they're playing. They still have the potential. You get a couple key trades right here, get a couple young players that are hot and hungry, and you can, something could happen. as long as the Stars are still producing.
This hockey team from Pittsburgh, they fall to 2-2 after the loss. They play the Blues on Saturday night at 8 o'clock. They have a chance. They have a chance to tie the Steelers record before the Steelers get to play on Sunday. They could both be 3-2 Saturday night if the Penguins win.
Hey, or they could lose and the Steelers come out and lose, and boom, we're right where we need to be.
Baseball, Pittsburgh Pirates. Brian Hayes is named a finalist for the Golden Glove Award. I think he has a really good chance of winning this award, Mike. It would be nice. The Pirates don't give us much.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to see.
But the funny thing is that, like, even though, the Gold Glove should be for defensive play, for some odd reason, the writers and the voters will still take in consideration your offensive output.
Yeah.
Which I think is ridiculous. But, good thing that Hayes had a pretty productive, offensive season for the type of player he is. But he's arguably the best defensive third baseman in baseball.
Also, Mike, they're voting. They're voting to see whether they're going to put a 22-foot video screen near PNC Park on the North Shore for fans. I dig this. Am I going to be a guy that goes and watches games on the screen? No, I'm not. I'm not. But I think it's cool. You go to different inner cities and you always find these cool, different, unique kind of things. And they talk about putting a Ferris wheel on the North Shore, which I don't get one bit. But you know what? I could see this. This is kind of a cool thing, because there are people that that do walk around the cities all the time. There are people that are constantly in downtown, constantly on the North Shore, doing city things. And I think this fits in, and it fits in good with Pittsburgh. It's mild. I think people will accept it, and I think for a while it would be a cool thing.
Yeah, I'm for it. Fuck it, why not?
Yeah,
anything to anything for entertainment, anything to like you said, you're out walking. Hey, stop by, watch the game for a bit, and go about our day.
You got Club AE like right there in the parking lot of Heinz Field. I dig. I think more the merrier when it comes to inner city. It isn't anything that's out here in the suburbs. It's going to keep us awake all night or anything like that. I think it's a good addition to a town like Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I like it. Hell yeah, do it. Do it, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh Mauler news. Arnold Tarpley III. He's the safety for the Maulers. Last season, he had 42 tackles, 3 interceptions. Worked out this offseason with Buffalo, Green Bay, and Atlanta. He looks like he's going to be getting signed with the Atlanta Falcons, Mike.
Oh, nice. I like him. I liked him. I thought he played really well. It'd be nice to see him. Was he making the practice squad or active?
They didn't specify.
Yeah, because I kind of saw it too. But hey, either way, being able to practice squad, that's almost next man up. Be nice to see him out there for a little bit. Hopefully, he can make a couple games this year.
And Atlanta, like a lot of other teams, they're not exactly. I mean, they're playing good football.
Yeah, but they're not.
Isn't like they're loaded at this position, and you're like, oh, this guy's never going to see the field.
Exactly.
He's just, so, going to Atlanta is never a bad thing if you're a player, especially if you're average or a little better than average. Like Atlanta is always a good place to go. Okay. Mike.
Yes.
Coach Tomlin says the Steelers have done their due diligence during the bye to fix their offense. Can you translate this to us Yinzers and what exactly this means moving forward that we're going to see on the football field on Sunday?
We watched the film. We realized the play designs and the play call suck, but our owner's so cheap, he won't let us fire this guy and hire a new offensive coordinator. So we're just going to have to grin and bear it. Hopefully, Muth and Deontay Johnson coming back is going to open up the middle of the field. That's the due diligence they did on their offensive for offensive work. That's about it. That's like yeah. Because I'm trying to figure out like what they can do to make this better, unless they're going to say, hey, you know what, this zone blocking is not working, we're going back to the straight man-on-man run blocking. We're going to start attacking the entire field, not just certain parts of it. We're not going to let just every pass to George Pickens be a deep pass or a back shoulder throw. We're going to get him more involved with different routes. We're going to use Jalen Warren more than Najee Harris. We're gonna play
But
We're gonna
is
play
this what?
Jones,
I mean, yes,
over.
of course, these are things that it could mean, but are any of these accurate?
No,
Or
oh no. They probably looked at it and go, it is what it is. Good enough. We're winning. We're above
and I think
500.
as well as everybody else, I don't think that Canada is going to get let go till the end of the season
No.
because of his contract. So people got to get that out of their head. I think the fire Canada thing's fun, and I really enjoy it, and I enjoy seeing where the sign's going to pop up next. It's almost like where's Waldo at this point. But I mean, I think if you know anything about this team, they're not going to get rid of this
No.
guy. We have the worst offense in the league. We're down there. Everything is pretty low, and for them to not even entertain the thought, or at this point, a third of the way through the season, it's not happening. It's not going to happen.
No.
What can you do? You can only get worse.
Yeah.
Or you could, I mean, they could get better, but at this point, you can't get too much worse. You know what I'm saying? If you're sitting at 30, 31, 29. If they didn't fire him now, they're not going to fire him.
No, they're not going to. No, they're going to wait till the contract runs out at the end of the year because the Steelers are only going to pay coordinators what they think coordinators are worth, and they're not going to pay two. They're not going to pay one guy to sit at home, or we're going to bring someone in to be quote unquote advisor. They're not going to pay two people that job. So just get it out of your head. But what you got to hope for is maybe coming out of this bye, this offense will kind of play like the way it did the second half last year. Find an identity, whether it's running the ball or passing the ball. It doesn't have to be running the ball because we're the Steelers and we have to run the ball.
I think they're playing just as good as they were playing last year. I just think that this is the bar right now until they start putting consistent drives together, and
they need something. Man.
Something's got to give.
And I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I really don't. I'm hoping the addition of Deontay coming back. That should help that should help the passing because his route running is it should draw more attention. That should open up George some more, maybe putting Calvin Austin in the slot, bumping Allen Robinson down, putting Calvin Austin up there, making him more explosive.
Would be helpful, Mike. The latest one I saw, Devontae Adams. From of course you had no idea who I was talking about because I had a letter wrong. I don't know what.
I'm like if someone
anyway, listen. So he is a rumor that keeps popping up. He has an interest. Could be an interesting Steelers signing at the deadline. Also, another rumor I see, Mike, is Kirk Cousins.
I saw that one. That's not going to happen.
So Kirk Cousins and Devontae Adams. I mean, yeah, maybe our offense would get a little bit better there. But I can't see much that we could do at this point. Mike Tomlin, let's see, he was testy.
A
couple things we didn't talk about yesterday because we were doing the show with the movie, but so I'm trying to catch up on a couple of these things that we got from the Mike Tomlin conference. He was testy. And it's so funny because now it's everyone's kind of pointing fingers at one another, and they're saying, the person that wrote this article where I read that he was testy. They said the people, the crowd, the media is not the people that are making the decisions to keep Matt Canada around. They're asking legitimate questions. He's being testy. It's almost like the war. There's no winning this situation.
No, because the press, they're going to dig their heels in and keep asking the same questions over and over. The coach isn't going to answer the questions. So then the story becomes, well, he's not answering our questions. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to keep asking these questions until we get the answers we want to hear.
There's much more that he could do, Mike. I don't know what else, like you said, I don't know what the answer is at this point.
Whether he has autonomy over hiring all of his coaches and firing them, where's the owner? The owner owns the team. If the owner is unhappy, the owner needs to step in and be like, you know what, Mike, sorry, I don't like Canada. He's not doing the job. He's fired. And here's your offensive coordinator. This is the guy I'm hiring. You deal with it. So this tells me
some balls in this organization.
Yeah, that tells me like the owner is complicit in all of this too. So it's not just Tomlin, it's Rooney too, man. They're just either or Tomlin doesn't want the guy, but he's stuck with him because
I thought Omar Khan had balls. Why don't he talk? Get involved.
He can't hire and fire the coach.
Well, I'm not saying hire and fire, but I mean he has a lot of influence. Obviously,
you would hope.
Let him do pretty much his thing over the off season.
Yeah,
somebody needs to grow balls, Mike. Nobody has balls.
Yeah, Omar Khan should be up there. Like, you are making me look like an idiot for the guys I'm signing. You're not putting them into positions to succeed. You make me trade, Kevin Dodson, and look at him becoming one of the best guards in the league.
Just
So it's
Mike, it's so frustrating. I don't know what the answer is. Everybody knows what the answers are. Everybody knows what
yeah,
we're
but
talking about. But
the solutions aren't going to happen until the off season.
yeah,
But what's like the offense shows, quote unquote, show signs of life like it did last year. Like, oh, I got to bring Canada back.
it's the same exact. Mike, they're playing the same exact
It,
style. It's
it's the
everything that's
same.
happening.
Yeah.
Even in those early games when we were going back and
Mhm.
forth in the first 4 or 5 games to see what quarterback we're going to go with, there was not a
Yeah.
real solid anything. This has the feel of last year. There wasn't, the
Mhm.
games that we lost, they were bad losses. The games we lost this year are bad losses. The games we won last year are the same kind of
Mhm.
games that we're winning this year. It's going to be more of the same. And if that at the end of the year has them extending Matt
Uh-huh.
Canada's contract, that would
Oh,
just be downright pathetic.
it would be pathetic. It would be a travesty. It would be, an affront to the fan base. But it wouldn't shock me because it's the way Art Rooney II runs the team now. Yeah, he's afraid to change because God forbid, we didn't change all throughout the 60s, 70s, and 80s and 90s and the early 2000s. Why change now? It's the Steeler way hasn't worked in a long ass time. 2 championships in 40 years. Steeler way needs to adapt and change with the times.
Which is actually a pretty good percentage considering what most teams have done. It's not a
Considering, yeah,
bad
but
thing,
the way like
but we don't
us
want to be
Steeler
there.
fans act, like the way us Steeler fans see this team as like all this perennial
The
contender. Two
buyers,
championships in 40
the
years, man.
market, we don't want that product. We want good product.
Yeah, we want good product. We're tired of seeing this team play the way they are. And keep telling us, coach, I don't care, but let's get some better coordinators. I just don't. It's just weird and frustrating. Because it's hard to evaluate. Okay, do the players we have, are they good or are they bad, or is the system bad, players bad? Is it a combination of? So it's hard to get a real good evaluation of everyone across the board.
Um, as you mentioned, Kevin Dotson, yes, he is the highest graded guard in the NFL. The highest graded guard in the NFL. No, he's not doing well. No, he didn't go to another team and is playing great. Mike, he is the highest graded guard in the NFL.
Well, hey, keep in mind, Myles Garrett's the highest graded edge in the NFL too.
And he hasn't had a sack in 3
Yeah,
weeks.
I know. So really, how well is
I
Kevin
pulled up the
Dotson
list today to
playing?
possibly talk about the sack leaders, and we haven't done it for 2 weeks. And he's literally in the same exact spot
Yeah.
he was when TJ got to where he was, but TJ had the week off.
Yeah, I see. I always liked Kevin Dotson. I thought he was showing signs of being a damn good player. He was an integral part of that line last year when they brought in Somalia. I'm like, okay, are they going to move Daniels to guard and kick, Dotson out to right guard? You have a solid interior line right there. Then they just go and trade him.
Kevin Dotson is the highest graded guard in the NFL. Mike, that isn't even sunk in since I seen it.
No. Like I liked him. I thought he was a really good player. I'm surprised we traded him. But to see online the fans reacting to like him and Akilo Witherspoon, like half, I would say over half the fan base was, ready to get rid of all these guys last year. Now they're having success, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, this is the
Why are
worst thing
these
ever."
guys having success elsewhere?
It just maybe they're being used better, or maybe it's just the natural progression of like Dawson was ready to break out, but we brought in
You're
Samalu.
suggesting that if Dotson was here, he could be the highest graded guard in the NFL.
Yes, yeah, he was showing damn good signs last year. He was getting better
The
and
best
better
guard.
every year.
He would be the
Oh,
best guard in the NFL here.
well, probably not because PFF always downgrades our players.
I'm just saying though, it's very peculiar to me. I don't know.
But you look at Devin Bush. He hasn't done
85.3.
anything since he's left.
Who?
Devin Bush didn't do anything since
He's
he
even
left.
play. I think he's
Claypool,
hurt. He's not even
yeah,
playing.
Claypool hasn't done anything. So it's like not just they left here.
Claypool,
We
come
missed
on,
on these
Mike.
guys. No, I'm pointing out. I'm just pointing out that we've had some guys leave here that sucked, and some who, hey, they got success elsewhere. And we've had that too, where we brought players in. Look at James Ferry years ago. We brought him in from the Jets. They said he was a bum, and he blossomed. It happens, but it sucks when it happens when it's one of your former players. Like, what did we do wrong? What did we do wrong? We're the ones who are supposed to find those guys that make them damn good. It's not supposed to be the other way. I understand it's frustrating, but it happens. And I really do wish we would have kept Kevin Dawson. I was not a big fan of that trade because I thought he would be our super utility guy. He can play both guards, and if center gets hurt, you move Daniels to guard, and you have Dawson right there. I thought he was going to be that guy, the swing guy. But no, let's trade him for like a fifth round pick or some whatever bullshit we got from him. Keelan Witherspoon, we were everyone in this town was ready to get rid of him after we re-signed him. He had 5 good games here. He had 5 good games in Seattle. He's had 5 good games with St. Louis. Let's see if that trend continues or not.
Everybody's famous fat Hawaiian wearing troll has this to say. Hawaiian shirt wearing troll. He says Joey Porter Jr. The rap is he's an inadequate tackler. That's the deal. That's the problem. That's what's going on. That's why Joey Porter is not playing a lot of time now. Apparently, he goes on to say that Deion Sanders wasn't either. I think it's a little early to put him in a group with Deion Sanders. But on the other hand, I just is that what's going on? He just needs to tackle better.
I remember, God, was it last week or the week before? He went in to try and make a tackle, and he went like this.
Bro, your dad was Joey Porter.
But
go in the backyard with your dad. I don't care how old you are. You know what I mean? That anybody would teach you how to tackle with your dad. Joey Porter.
Yeah. If that's the reason why they're not playing, that's kind of stupid and silly. I understand, Steelers corners have always been responsible to help out in the run game too. But I first and foremost, I want my cornerback to shut down the receiver and then go from there. Yeah. People aren't catching passes on him. The stats don't lie. So I'm not worried about his tackling ability there. If he could tackle and couldn't cover, I would be worried. But he can cover.
He does need to tackle too.
It will get there.
I think he might need to put on a little weight, Mike. He's very, very, very thin.
Yeah.
I don't know how much weight you want to put on as a skill position player, but it's got to be muscle if you do.
Yeah,
but he's very skinny. And I'm not saying that's a problem. I'm just saying that's probably something that he needs to do moving forward. I like him. I can't wait to see him in. But maybe, just maybe, the fat jackass could be right. But I don't know. You got to see him more. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows in game situations? I missed the tackle that you're talking about. But
I remember I saw it. I'm like, oh, that was a poor attempt on a tackle. Like he could have wrapped the guy up. He kind of shouldered into his thigh leg area.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he ended up gaining like a couple more yards. But I just he tried to get in the way of the guy. I'll give him credit for that. At least he didn't olay him. But it was like, ooh. I want my corners to cover first, tackle second.
He's saying you can wrap him up, helmet on the numbers, tackle is easy.
Exactly.
And you know what? In theory, it is because we all did it in Mighty Mice and we all did it in midgets. And I think ultimately that's what it's a psychological thing because you had the skinniest dude who would just be crazy out of their mind when it came to tackling. Mm-hmm. It comes down to the mind of the person. He has to develop that part upstairs. But I think he's going to do it. I'm a Joey Porter Jr. fan. I can't wait to see him out there more often. I don't think the people that's playing ahead of him are that great. Again, Levi Wallace is is having a good season, and for what it's worth, I guess Patrick Peterson is too. I mean, if this is the production you're going to get from how many time Pro Bowler, the guy leads the active players in interceptions in the NFL. I think that if you're going to get a half Patrick Peterson, that's probably going to be about as good as the Artie Burns or the guys we had in the past that we've depended on. But everybody knows moving forward, it's going to be Joey Porter Jr. I say at this point, again, we're not playing for an undefeated season. We're not playing for a Super Bowl. Get these guys in there. Get them, you got to throw them into the wolves. Get Broderick Jones in there. The guy lining across from where Broderick Jones may be playing, maybe starting, hopefully, but he'll be playing is the Rams starting edge rusher, Mike. This dude, I can't think of his name, but Broderick Jones handled him pretty good last year. He's a rookie.
Yeah, I can't remember. Game. Yeah.
So let's just say Broderick Jones starts, and I hope he does. He might be able to handle this guy just fine. Let him play. You got to let him play.
Yeah,
You can't not let him play. There's classroom learning. There's in play learn. You got to play. The guy, these guys play football their whole life. If the guy needs to learn how to tackle better, you get very, very successful people that comes in and teaches these guys how to do certain things. It shouldn't be this difficult, in my opinion.
It shouldn't be that hard, but it's the Steeler way. We got to make them hard. Is it Byron Young? Was that the guy?
I think.
I think so. Young. Yeah. Because he was third round pick out of Tennessee this year. Yeah.
P says too many guys try to shoulder tackle. That's a 50. No, you're right, P. I mean, come on, you're pros. You don't know how to tackle. Even a quarter. It's like in baseball. Why can't a pitcher hit? That's just mind blowing. Yeah. There's no reason he shouldn't be. It's like the thing about when a pitcher hits, it looks like he never played the game before.
Yeah.
There's no reason for that. Yeah, you put all your effort into pitching, but come on, you're a professional baseball player. You can't hit a ball. To me, that's that's why I like that guy from the Angels,
Ohtani.
And I'm not saying you got to be the best hitter, but geez,
no, man, you should be a competent hitter,
and you should have a very good understanding of what's coming at you because you do the exact same thing.
Yeah,
like the catchers that can't hit. You literally catch every ball that's thrown.
Yeah, you see the spin of the ball. You see it more than everyone else.
How you're not hitting it with a bat?
Makes no sense. But if that's the reason they're keeping Porter out, that's stupid. Stupid.
Deontay Johnson, Mike, first whole practice week since tweaking his hamstring in the season opener against the 49ers. And more the merrier. Let's get them all back. I say let's get everybody back.
Get him out there because he'll
get Harvin back in here.
Yeah,
everybody.
Because he'll be because if he can play and then you got Muth playing, that should in theory that should help the passing game.
Who does he just signed at Brad Wing? Was it Philadelphia?
I think so. That's nice to see him, get back in the league after almost a decade.
Speaking of which, did I see Julio Jones went to the Eagles?
Was it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was. Yeah, he went to the Eagles.
And watch out for these guys. The Eagles are they're as good as they were last year.
Mm-hmm. It's just like they were one of the teams again that didn't play any starters in the preseason. It's like it's taking them a little bit longer to get chugging and going along.
I can't wait to see them play the San Francisco game. That's the one I'm waiting for.
That should be a damn good game.
That's going to decide probably who's 1 and 2 seed in the AFC. And you got to remember they don't do the 2-team buys anymore. It's just the number 1 seed.
Yeah, that's gonna be a damn good game. And hopefully they're both coming in healthy and flying on all cylinders because that's gonna be a damn good game.
Over in the NFC, Mike, the NFC top 10 best teams in the NFC. The Detroit Lions, number 1, which I love. I love this.
I love that.
We should have put money on this 3 seasons ago.
We should have. A futures bet. We'd be making the money.
We'd be on vacation right now.
Hell yeah.
San Francisco, number 2. Philadelphia, number 3. So far, any problems with this? Detroit 1, San Fran 2, Philly 3?
No.
All right, number 4, Dallas. This is where it turns into a gray area for me. Because I don't know what to make of Dallas, and I don't think Dallas knows what to make of Dallas.
Yeah.
So once you get past 1, 2, and 3 for me in the NFC, I think it's anybody's game. Number 5 on the list, is the Seattle Seahawks. They kind of fall into that same category.
Yep.
You don't really know what to make of them, and I'm not sure they know what to make.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay, the Rams, Washington kind of all get clumped together for me.
Yeah, they're all like the same team.
They're all basically the same team. They all know who their quarterback is. They're all happy with their guys, but they're just not a very strong team. They're probably, a few pieces away in every direction.
In Dallas thing, they lose Diggs for the year at corner. Dak Prescott, he'll wow you 1 week, and then the next week you're pulling your hair out. Like, what are you doing? Some weeks he looks like an elite quarterback. Others he looks like what? Like, what the hell are you doing? Then other weeks he's just fine.
In a nutshell, man. He reminds me of Cordell Stewart a lot, in ways,
Yeah, like inconsistent to where like if you just give me a damn good solid effort all the time, that's all we need out of. That's all they need out of.
Cordell ended up being an All-Pro. I mean, at least one time I can remember. I mean, so the guy, he showed signs of being a really good quarterback, but then there was other times, throwing 5 interceptions in a game. They just their game. They remind me of one another.
Yeah.
Cordell Stewart and Dak Prescott.
Yeah. Like I don't want Dak to have to win me a game, But it doesn't surprise me when he does pull
Yeah.
out a game-winning drive. You're like, oh, okay, but yeah, he's not someone I put my money on.
So the first 8 in the NFC are this: Detroit, San Francisco, Philadelphia, Dallas, Seattle, Tampa, the LA Rams, who the Steelers play on Sunday, Washington. And then finally, the last 2 teams, 9 and 10, are the Atlanta Falcons at 9 and the New Orleans Saints at 10. These are pretty not good teams. I give Atlanta the season. Everyone's talking about how good Atlanta's looking early. I just say give this team the season, and you'll see where Atlanta falls.
And
I'm
Desmond
not
Riddler.
going to try to convince anybody right now. You know what it is.
He's mediocre at best right now.
Yeah. And then
like
the
he
Saints.
threw 3 picks last week to lose that game. And
the
then
Saints,
Jameis Winston, Derek Carr. Yeah. You got nothing really down there. Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield, you put him in the right offense. I trust him, but I don't know. It's Saint. I don't know. The Bucks aren't what they used to be. They still have some damn good players down there, but so many of the teams are the same, man. It's just wild.
So that is your top 10 NFC teams in the power rankings this week. Mike, your week 6, and it's just funny just because these are the teams we're talking about. I pulled this graphic up and I have it. I didn't plan to talk about it on the show today, but now that we brought it up, I'm gonna tell you, these were the 5 best passers in week 6 in the NFL.
Okay.
Number 1, and this is in the NFL, Derek Carr with 353 yards. Number 2, Jared Goff with 353 yards. Number 3, Garner Minshew, 329 yards. Number 4, Geno Smith, 323. And number 5, the 5th best passer in the NFL this weekend was Desmond Ridder, 307 yards.
That's why you can't just look at yardage. Because my man, he had a rough one.
This is wild. I mean, in a league of Allens and Mahomeses, and
they didn't have the yardage, but they had the completion percentage, and they won the turnover battle. It was just a wild week last week, man. Like good teams losing to bad teams, bad teams upsetting those good teams, good quarterbacks not playing well but finding a way to win.
Do you want to hear who the leading receivers at this point are?
Oh yeah.
Tyreek Hill is in first place with 814 yards. He's on pace for like 6 million yards or something.
Oh yeah, he's going to break all the records if he stays healthy. Him and Tua.
Number 2, AJ Brown, 672 yards. Stephon Diggs, number 3, with 620 yards. Puka Nacua, this weekend. It's going to be a challenge. We're going to be challenged at in our back defensive backfield. Hopefully, Joey Porter gets in there and he can make some big plays for us. Number 5,
we are in bizarre world.
It is. Number 5, DJ Moore, 582 yards.
Half of that was in one game.
It really was. Justin Jefferson, number 6, with 571. Jamar Chase, 7th, with 556. Nico Collins from the Texans, 547. Keenan Allen, 519, and Adam Thielen, 509. Those are your top 10 wide receivers.
Nico Collins, Puka Nacua, and Adam Thielen are big surprises. But God,
Adam Thielen's usually up here.
Yeah, but normally he's been like that guy who he had Justin Jefferson. He had
he's been in Minnesota for a while though.
He had Justin Jefferson in I forget the other receiver who went to Buffalo, but he was always the number 2. Now he's being the guy down in Carolina. That's like the midget quarterback's favorite target. So it's kind of surprising, but not kind of
Who's
surprising.
A midget?
Bryce Young.
Is he a midget?
Oh, he's tiny, man. He is short, bro.
All right, Mike. You know what time it is? It is time. We're down to the 20-minute mark. That
Derpy's favorite part of the show.
This is Derpy's favorite part. This is why Derpy isn't here. I'm willing to bet this is why Derpy isn't here. It's time to do the weekly picks. Derpy was here in a good mood all week long. Day to do the picks. Crickets. But you know what? The show must go on. Mike, it's time to do our picks for the week. Are you confident?
Yeah. I went 9 and 7 last week. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, you did all right.
I did all right.
Did something. So we don't know. Maybe Derpy will be back tomorrow. Maybe he won't. As you said, he takes his long weekend whenever it comes
Hell
picks time.
yeah, he's like the guy who works from home. Like they won't notice. I get all my work done the
Right.
first 2 days of the week.
All right, Mike. Tonight starts it off. The reason we do our picks today, the Jacksonville Jaguars at the New Orleans Saints. Mike, last week's leading quarterback in passing yards against Flavio, of course, Trevor Lawrence. He's traveling to New Orleans to play the Saints. Mike, who wins this game, Jacksonville or New Orleans?
Mm, mm. Give me Jacksonville. I don't know why. I don't feel confident picking either team. Um, I think Jacksonville might just be just a little bit better. The better quarterback play because he's better than Derek Carr. He's better than James Winston. I'm gonna take him.
Yeah, I would think Jacksonville's the better team here. The Saints fall in that same category that I mentioned with Atlanta. Yeah, you know where they're going to end up at the end of the year. We're entertaining it because they're playing decent football at the beginning, but there isn't much that leads you to think that this team is going to be a success.
Yeah,
they're mid pack. They're mid.
They are. Yep. There's a lot of teams this year that are middle of the pack.
Yeah. Mike, you know what the thing is? I think there's always, but we're just used to being in the upper group. Now that we're in the middle, it's like, oh my God, look how much competition there is.
Now that we've been here forever,
we've never paid attention to things like this.
Yeah.
Second game, Mike, first game on Sunday, the Atlanta Falcons and the Buccaneers, two teams that we just talked about.
Yeah.
Desmond Ridder, Baker Mayfield. What do you think?
Give me Tampa Bay. I've been a fan of Baker since he was up in Cleveland. I still like that Tampa D. I still like that their front on their defensive front end. They still got weapons on offense. And Atlanta, they're Bijan Robinson. That's a good guy to build around in your backfield, defensive backfield. You got to figure out what's going on with Kyle Pitts, whether it's the offense, whether it's him, get him back on track. But right now, they're all out of sorts on offense. So give me Tampa Bay.
All right, game 3 of the week, the Raiders at the Bears.
I am picking the Bears from here on out every week. I am rooting for this
team. Is the
team.
Quarterback back? Because if he's not back, I'm taking Jimmy Garoppolo in this one. That's big.
Was Fields hurt?
Fuck,
he's doubtful. He didn't practice Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know what? They're going out there. They're winning for Justin Fields,
all right,
baby.
You still taking Chicago?
I said I'm taking them every week. I got to now, at least this week.
All right.
I was hoping. I forgot Fields was hurt.
The next game, like the Browns at the Colts. Now the Browns get a monumental win last week. I mean, monumental. This is the biggest win anybody had all season. The Browns go out and beat the San Francisco 49ers. This week they go over to Indianapolis to play the Colts. Is this the game that they fall, or are they going to ride high with this defense, Mike, that is number 1 in the league?
I'm taking this defense. Yeah, I kind of like I like what Indy's doing out there. It sucks that Anthony Richardson's done for the year. Gardner Minshew, he's not bad, average quarterback. He'll do enough to help you win, but sometimes he'll do enough to help you lose.
Even up to this point, I remember in Jacksonville, he would throw a lot of yards for you. The guy, he's not a bad quarterback.
No, he's like in that Baker Mayfield type, man. He will fight for every single yard out there. He'll fight to the bitter end for you. This defense that Cleveland has, they're on a legendary run for what they're doing.
It's unbelievable. I've never thought the Browns were going to win this many weeks. I mean, I'm going through the games every week with you. I'm thinking, oh, Cleveland's going to win this. And now that they're playing better and then you're realizing that the defense is so good that they beat the 49ers, it's even more now. It's like, okay, I think I'd never remember this about the Cleveland Browns, thinking every week, okay, well, this team is going to win. This team is going to win. Never. This is the first year this many times, and we're only a third of the way through.
Yeah, and they're doing this with Zadarius Smith only having 5 tackles and 0 sacks.
Yeah,
that's insane. One of their better players isn't producing, and they're
Myles
still
Garrett
doing
hasn't had a sack in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and they're still able to produce. That secondary they have too is just fucking disgusting. So I'm taking Cleveland. I hate to say it.
NFC East showdown, Mike.
Hold on, real quick. Amazing QB or average QB, amazing band. What P said he had to say about Gardner Minshew. That dude's a nut. I love Gardner.
He's in a band.
No, he's just a wild looking dude.
Oh,
Funky looking guy. He's crazy. I love him.
NFC Showdown, Mike. This game between the isn't the two teams that you'd want to see when you hear the word NFC East Showdown. The Giants are hosting the Washington Commanders.
I
I
have
don't
to
think
say,
there's
there's
not a
no
person alive that has said anything good about the Giants in a long time.
no. Oh God, I don't know who to pick. These teams are just bad.
I think I would take Washington in this.
I
I
am.
mean,
I'm taking Washington. They were one of my preseason darlings,
and
and
they're still
they're
not bad. I mean, they're
no.
you know,
Like I was hoping Sam Howell would take a bigger jump. I was hoping
yeah.
Jahan Dodson would be a nice number two receiver that
Is
or
Daniel
Terry
Jones still
McLaurin.
playing? Is he hurt? Is he active? Is he? I'm just asking out of the blue. I don't know anything.
He's still playing. He's
Okay,
playing
he just
shittily.
stinks.
He's the drizzle and shits.
This next one is the big
Two
one from
touchdowns, 6 picks, 40 million dollars a year.
who's
Woo!
this?
Daniel Jones, 2 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, making $40 million a
Yeah,
year.
that's it. Come on, everybody knew that. Come on,
Everyone saw that.
it was everyone. It wasn't even just us.
Everyone but New York, man. This is why you have to have an elite
New
quarterback.
York's blind when it comes to football.
Yeah, it's like, well, they
They're so
saw.
they have the
Yep.
amazing baseball up there.
Mhm.
Um, next game is my favorite one. Like this game is going to be there's two more, but this one is the first of them. The Lions at the Ravens. I think just all in all. Now here's how it breaks down. I think that the Lions all obviously are just an overall better team. They're sitting as the number one team in the NFC right now. I think the Ravens are a little overrated, but they have the pieces to play a good game. Now, saying that the Lions being a better team, it's in Baltimore, which kind of gives Baltimore a little bit more leverage here. Mike, when it's all said and done, I see this game as a 24-21 Detroit Lion win. Where are you at on this?
I'm going with the Detroit win too. I also believe it's going to be a very close game.
It's going to be for an AFC North guy like we are, being from Pittsburgh. This is the kind of game that we could relate to.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. This
yeah,
is the kind of game that you would see the Pittsburgh Steelers in any given week against a tough team.
And I think Lamar has been throwing the ball really well this year, but that Lions team, they have a damn good secondary led by Cam
that's
Sutton,
a tough
Brian
team.
Branch, and that offense, man, they're just chugging along.
The only their weakest link, I think, is their quarterback, and he's not a bad
he's not
quarterback.
even that bad. No,
I mean the guy. He got to the Rams to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he got him to the Super Bowl. It's not his fault. His coach forgot how to call an offense. So I'm going to go Detroit in a squeaker, but it wouldn't surprise me if Baltimore pulls it out, man. Because it's that game. It's literally it's a pick'em game. You can't go wrong.
Yeah. The Ravens are very much like us. They kind of need to play the scrappy game to, have things go their way. But you know what? Detroit is a really good version of what we do this year. That's why I'm favoring the Lions this week as well.
Mike, see Amon-Ra St. Brown. I can see him going off against that.
They're loaded. This is a really good team.
Yeah,
they've been building this team for a while.
Oh, long time.
AFC East matchup, Mike. The Bills at the Patriots. Is there any chance? No. Bill Belichick could come up with a scheme to beat this Buffalo Bills team this week?
No. This New England team is just bad right now.
This is the worst New England team I've seen in a long time.
And I'm loving it. I'm loving it
every minute.
Yeah.
Now they're talking about maybe firing Belichick, and it's great.
You lose your number one pick in Christian Gonzalez after he was showing signs of taking a huge step up by mid.
I tell you what, some of these corners look really good, man. Some of these rookies. Woo! You mentioned Brian Branch just a moment ago. He's having an amazing season.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised if he's in the talks at the end of the year.
I can see him being defensive player of the year.
That's what I mean. Next game is
rookie of the year. Excuse me.
Of course.
I don't know why I said defensive player of the year. That's going to TJ Watt, Trent Jordan Watt.
These are a half sack. That's why. Next game. The Cardinals at the Seahawks, Mike. The Cardinals at the Seahawks. Early in the year, you get a little bit of hope in the, maybe this Cardinals team might be doing something. You had this, the genius under center. Connor was making plays, but the season's kind of deteriorating from them, which I think that you knew you were going to see eventually. Mike, is there Cardinals Seahawks? Who do you think, man?
I'm taking the Seahawks. Geno Smith, baby. Yeah, I just think they're just a better team. Arizona, they have, they did upset the Cowboys, yeah. So I think that was
It is
just a
bizarro
fluke.
freaking world. This
It is
year's
bizarre. That was
NFL.
a fluke. But like this Cardinals team, man, they haven't quit. They haven't quit in any of the games that they lost. They might have one or two more upsets left in them, but not this.
The Steelers at the Rams. We're gonna do the we'll do the tiebreaker at the very end, but
Yeah.
you can make your pick on the game now.
I'm gonna go St. Louis. I know Tomlin teams typically play well coming out of a bye, but I just not confident in this team. Not confident in the offense. The defense, yeah, they'll make plays here and there, but if you can start
Either
running
you just
on them,
did something really dumb or you just did something really brilliant.
to me,
Yeah. You picked St. Louis.
did I say St. Louis?
And if they lose, you could always say I didn't pick LA. I picked St. Louis.
I'm sorry. To me, they will always.
But if
be
you win,
I'm old.
you can always say, "Oh, I picked the Rams." You know who I meant. It was like I said. If you knew what you had said, it was really fucking genius.
I've become my parents, man. I've become my parents. Well, that's how it was 30 years ago. That's how I remember.
Yeah.
So yeah, the St. Louis Rams, but no, LA. I think Puka Nakua, Cooper Kupp was.
I'm scared.
Cooper Kupp didn't miss a step. He didn't miss a step. Cooper Kupp did not miss a step when he came back. He went right back in, run those stupid little routes.
Worried about these receivers.
Puka Nakua, I'm worried about.
We're gonna have to get to Matthew Stafford's ass. I mean, no two ways about it. This defensive line and linebackers and pass rushers, and but they had 2 weeks to prepare. That's what I do like about it. They sat home and watched this team play on TV last week while they got a chance to get healthy, sit back, game plan, and practice. For that reason is why I'm taking the Steelers, but the receiver situation scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, their number one running back is out, so we got that going for us. But I'm still worried about that passing attack.
Yeah, and that's the thing when you say make them beat you with their passing game. I'm pretty confident that a lot of these teams will still beat us with their passing game. So
but Cooper Kupp 2 games, 266 yards receiving.
Come
on, it puts him third on the team.
and Nakua is in the top 10 in receiving.
They haven't thrown for a lot of touchdowns. Stafford 6 touchdowns, 5 picks, but still, I'm just worried.
4 games left, 8 minutes left. Mike, here we go. The next game, I think this should be a good game. The Chargers at the Chiefs. The only reason I'm going with the Chiefs on this is because it's at Arrowhead. Mike, Chargers at Chiefs. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs too. Division game, so it should be a tight game.
Because the Chiefs aren't as dominant this year as they've looked over the past few years.
No, that offense is struggling a little.
Yeah, which I think they're going to be just fine. Matter of fact, I think they're going to be in the Super Bowl. But as of right now, they're not. They don't look like they have in the past. But you know what? That Patrick Mahomes, once the playoff starts, he turns into a person, a different being. But yeah, I got the Kansas City. You want Kansas City in this as well?
I'm taking Kansas City as well. And that defense, man, they're underrated, man. They're underrated defense. So I think that's going to help them out as their offense struggles, he says in quotes.
Yeah.
I would take a struggling Kansas City offense in Pittsburgh any day of the week.
Yeah. This game here was a rematch from the Super Bowl in the 90s. The Green Bay Packers, Mike, they traveled to play the Denver Broncos. They're going to Mile High City. Can Green Bay go up on that big mountain and come home with the win?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that Denver team is terrible.
Yeah.
They are
beating a dead horse,
They are so bad.
So
they don't have a first round pick this year, I believe. So yeah, they can't even tank for the draft.
All right, Green Bay, Mike, we're down to the 2 night games, Sunday night and Monday night. I spoke earlier of these 2 games that I think are going to be amazing this week. The Sunday night game is game 2 that I was speaking of, the Miami Dolphins at the Philadelphia Eagles. It's getting chilly up here in the Northeast, but you know what? I don't think it's going to be enough just yet to affect a team like Miami. It's not cold. Whatever the weather's going to be over in Philadelphia, I don't know, but I just do know that you have 2 of the best teams going at it this week. 2 that probably fall to a couple other teams in their conference. As we mentioned earlier, I think the Eagles were the third. But you know what? These two teams are still definitely two of the better teams in the NFL. It could very well be your Super Bowl. You can't even take that a possibility away. Mike, this game is going to be a lot of fun. And I'm glad it's Sunday night because it's kind of separate. You know, it's going to be on TV and you're going to be able to watch these two teams. Last year's NFC champion versus a now healthy Miami Dolphins team. Mike, Dolphins at Philly. What do you think?
I'm taking the Dolphins. God, I know that Philly defense is still damn good. Usually that defense can shut down just about any offense, but I think right now that Miami offense is just rolling and rolling. Philly's offense was struggling a little bit. So even though it is at Philly, at the link, that place is going to be rocking and rolling for a night game. Those fans are going to be liquored up and ready to go. I'm taking Miami. I think Mike McDaniels, he's not going to let that team go and worry. That dude is so calm, cool, and collected. He's going to have that team relaxed, not tight, not nervous, ready to go.
I'm going to go Philadelphia. I think this game could go either way. Yeah. I think it's going to be a great game. And as I said, when you get these great games, sometimes you just sit back in amazement and watch the things that they're doing out there. And at the end of the day, you're like, I don't really care. It's just a really good football game. I don't care who wins. I'm going Philadelphia on this one, Mike. Monday night, the last game of the week. This team just took, just like the Eagles did. I mean, they're going to be hungry. They just lost to the Jets. And this next team I'm talking about, of course, is the 49ers, who just came off the same kind of loss with the Cleveland Browns last week. They traveled north to go up to play the Minnesota Vikings. I can't see in a million years any way that this Minnesota Vikings team could beat this San Francisco 49ers team. Because when I look back at the game that the 49ers lost, that was a very good Cleveland Brown defense, which we go on and on about this. We've been going on and on about this season, and that blows my mind in itself. Mike, is there any way this Minnesota team beats San Francisco and gives them their second straight loss in a row?
I don't think so. Even with McCaffrey being questionable and Deebo Samuel being questionable, that this team is going to be ready to go. They want to, get that bad taste out of their mouth. And Minnesota,
and maybe last year, Minnesota, they had a nice defense for a couple years.
Yeah.
And then you give away your Dalvin Cook and you lose this player and you lose that player. I just don't think this team is good enough to run with them.
No.
Where again, Cleveland isn't a great team, but it's a pretty damn great defense.
Yeah, and they Minnesota does have Daniel Hunter. He's tied for the league lead in sacks with T.J. Watt, but I just think
and who spells their name Danielle when your name's Daniel?
Hey, that big motherfucker can. He call himself and spell however he wants.
When he's all the way over there, I'll call him whatever the fuck I want.
Exactly. He coming to my face.
Here, I'll shut up.
Yes, Mr. Danielle. I mean, Mr. Daniels. But no, I think that San Francisco defense is going to just eat up that offense, and I think Brock Purdy's just unless it rains in the dome, I think Brock Purdy's going to have a typical Brock Purdy game. He's going to sit there and look pretty in the pocket and make
Purdy in the pocket.
Purdy in the pot. Purdy's going to look Purdy in the pocket, and he's going to pick that defense apart and have people go, "Oh, well, he's just a system quarterback."
Mike, we are through with our picks. I got you recorded. It'd be funny if Derby pops in.
Oh, fuck him.
Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about the website?
The2dumyinzers.com. Head on over there. We have all of our socials over there. We have links to all of our socials over there. We have our merch store over there with the blog over there. The blog will be up on Friday, Saturday. Yeah, Friday. Yeah, I'll put something up tomorrow in there. Go over there. Maybe you can find Derpy. Maybe he's hiding out on the website. I don't know.
All right, there you go, everybody. Go check it out. www.the2dumyinzers.com. That is www.the2dumyinzers.com. Mike, question of the day. Of course, it is Rams questions this week because this is who we play. And yes, Mike, they can be St. Louis Rams questions as well. So you're safe on this.
I might have a chance then, baby.
Might have a chance. There we go. Which team traded running back Marshall Faulk to the Rams in 1999? You got to think this is the team that drafted Marshall Faulk out of Fresno State. Get back to that in one moment. We are live, everybody, right here every day during the week, Monday through Friday, every day, 11 to 12 p.m. in a show that we do live, uploaded later that day, 8 o'clock p.m. over on Spotify and podcast form, so you can just listen to it if you want in the car, in the gym, wherever you would like. All right, Mike, question of the day. Which team traded running back Marshall Faulk to the Rams in 1999 and created a team that was referred to as the greatest show on turf? Where did he come from, Mike?
Indianapolis Colts.
Indianapolis is correct. If Derpy was on, I would have gave him choices. The choices were the Saints, the Green Bay Packers, Cleveland, and then the Colts, which I knew that you knew, so I wasn't going to try to.
Yeah.
You know,
you don't have to stoop down to Derpy's level for me.
I remember watching Marshall Faulk play at Fresno State. Do you remember how freaking amazing? And I can't remember who it was against, but it was at Fresno's field, and they had a baseball field, football field. And remember how Miami's football field had the dirt infield all the time?
Yep.
And it was like that. And I think Marshall Faulk had like 289 yards rushing or something. I remember this game. And that's when I really recognized him. And then he ended up going and getting drafted that year by the Colts. And you just knew he was going to be special, man.
He was a beast. He was so damn good in college. He was fun to watch. And I love when those guys, when they get to the pros, actually able to play the way they did in college.
Yeah, he had an amazing career. Good for him.
Damn good player.
We do want to say thank you for checking us out, everybody. We appreciate each and every one of you, as always.
Hell yeah.
Mike, anything before we get ready to take off, man?
I got nothing. Let's go sports. Sports, baby. That's why we're here.
Tomorrow we will be talking college football, of course, which we have a big game coming up between Penn State and Ohio State.
No, we don't. No, we don't. That game has been canceled for my health.
We are decorating Mike's head this weekend for the game. That'll be big. Also, I do want to say thank you to the guys and gals from the cast of the movie The Carver House stopping by yesterday and talking to us. Apparently the premiere went great, Mike. It went fantastic.
Good.
They got out of the limo, and they got out of the limo. One of the posts I read, there was people, cheering and calling their names. So to have that experience,
that's awesome.
That's awesome for them guys, and I am very happy for them, and wish them all the luck moving forward. Again, that's the cast. We had Dawn and Jerry on yesterday to talk about the movie. Go check it out, everybody. It's called The Carver House, and you can check out all their stuff, Mike. It's at sicktastic.com. www.sicktastic with K's, not C's.
Exactly. Check it out.
Check it out, everybody. All right. So is that it for you?
That's it. All I got, brother.
All right, my man. Hey, thanks again for checking us out, everybody. We will be back tomorrow. Same